All right, check it out. I am building a website for a musician, DJ. And right now I'm getting to the latest releases part where he has singles and he's trying to fashion it after an artist called Rehab. And Rehab's singles are put up like this. You click on the cover art and then you get kind of launched to a page. It is external from his website, which we're not doing here. But it's going to just basically be the cover art. The cover art gets kind of ghosted in the background. And then each of these becomes a link out to the respective place that the music is at. So the client has provided Word doc of exactly the links and where they're going to go. And I'm going to take this list and add it to my conversation that I'm having with Replit right here. Let's run this app. Okay, so it's time for music, and I'm going into plan phase here. And I'm saying, I'm adding the oldest first, so reverse chronological order. We're going to add pages that look like this attached, and that's the page that I just showed you. I took a screenshot of that. And I'm going to attach the cover art. I'm going to download one at a time. That's this one. And I'm going to paste in the links here. Not sure where they went, so let's try that again. What the heck, man? Let's open this up. We're going to copy this, paste it here. Okay, so by default, you can see it's already kind of, it doesn't have SoundCloud. You can always see when it's got like the logo already almost ready to go. So let's see what it comes up with here. Let's go. That's it. I've given it all the information. And this, if this was a manual task and I had to populate each of these are all placeholders, by the way. If this were a manual task, I'd be miserable. Like you'd have to create every single little line. Like in WordPress, this would be like an all-day project. And I think that I could probably bang it out this morning. So let's give it a shot. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's see what they do with this. I also will make a note to it when it's done doing its work to erase all of these, but Scorpion is already here. There's nothing going on. It's just a dead link. When I had fed in the original PDF document, and that's what we were kind of working from here. Perfect. I understand exactly what you want. I want to make a note that I'm in plan phase here. So this is a newer feature, I would say last like 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so, in which you make sure that it knows what you're talking about before you do the thing. This way it doesn't like just go crazy and do the wrong thing. So make it very clear. This is what I'm trying to do. Let's plan it out. I believe he knows what I'm talking about. He, she, it, alien. Okay, so start building this thing, bro. So immediately when I clicked start building, it switched to build mode. And we will see if it knows what it's talking about. Like the cue in Jeopardy music here. It's telling me it's going to build out the music release page, starting with the Scorpion release. I'll create the individual pages with the cover art. I'm dying to see it.
Oh, look at that. You gotta be kidding me.
That was amazing. This is all I gave it. Damn. Okay, it clearly didn't get the... It didn't get the cover right, but that's no problem. The fact that it just populated this with all of these things is, God, is that everything? It's such an incredible time saver. So it's still thinking. Let's see what it comes up with when it's done thinking. But Scorpion should be at the end of the list. Scorpion should have the right cover art. I don't know that I want to screw around with dates. I mean, I just want it to be, this is the way this goes, and this scrolls over it. So this is like, the background is fixed. This one doesn't have a background. That's okay. All right, let's see. This thing is going bananas, bro. Look at what it's doing. So this is what I call, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. Look at that. It just does it. I don't have to do this. I don't have to micromanage pixels on the screen. You know, it's the biggest thing. What we got here. So, all right, well, it's getting there. It certainly isn't done. We got a little more work to do, but to me, having all of this just right here, just like this,
Fantastic, man.
sign on found. Like, what is this thing doing? What a bizarre background program that's just running. It is so weird to just have an automatic software developer working for you like this. So it's saying, all right, so it's telling me that Scorpion is live and that it's all done. So it's bullshitting me. So now let's fix it. So first of all, Scorpion should be at the end. Okay, so before I change any cover, actually, I'll change the cover at the same time. And so I'm saying Scorpion should be at the end. and attached is the cover art. Replace the current guitar pick that they're currently using, because that was just like a thing that they had thrown in there. This is the cover art. Fix it and make sure link goes to top page. So what I'm noticing is when I click on it, it goes to the middle of the page. It goes right to the music, which is cool, but it should be going to the top and showing the cover art as well. If I'm looking at Rehab, I'm looking at its thing, this is too big. Make song title smaller, remove date. All right, let's see what it comes up with here. I've given it a lot of instructions, and typically when I give something like this a lot of instructions, it doesn't really get it right, but in this particular case, I feel strongly that it will. So let's see what happens here. I'll just refresh it back to this. Wow, it's doing really weird shit. All right, well, it took away the date and the redundant title. However, it replaced the screenshot. It replaced the stock photo with the screenshot and not the actual cover art. So we'll work on that next. Told you it wasn't going to be able to get all the instructions right. I'm still accurate on that. And if you give it 5 things to do, it's still probably only going to get 1 right. So really at the end of the day with these things, in my opinion anyway, it's best to just give it 1 direct command, fix that direct thing, and then move on. When you give it 5 things to do at once, typically it's just going to get everything wrong. It's just not ready for that yet. I'm still not quite sure. I moved it to the end. It's done that. So now of the 5 things I've asked it to do, it's done 2 of them. It's still working. All right. So it got 3 things right and 1 thing wrong. All right. So it didn't understand the cover art. So let's just take care of cover art. Add this as Scorpion cover art, period. Now remove, I'm not going to add anything else. Add this as Scorpion cover art, replace the weird screenshot, just like that. Perfect. One thing I can say I've noticed is that, oh, never mind. Take it back. Okay, so now we're going to remove the date from the card. These things are called cards. These little, like when you roll over something on a website, it's called a card. So boom, looks good. What's this though? Listen now is dark gray. Okay, so remove the date from the card, and I have a screenshot of, and then I said make listen now brighter. It's dark gray over dark gray. So we're closing in here. And again, we can refine these designs and get them absolutely 100% perfect. What I'm up against here is a 3-day deadline for a show that this artist is going to be at, and their current website isn't at all working for them or right for this event. So yes, we can refine this over time, but all I'm trying to do right now is make sure that this is good to go for that show, which is approximately 18 hours from right now. This just fell on my lap a few days ago, and I'm almost done here. And, you know, just so you can see where it began with a bunch of different media files, but this is a PDF, kind of the electronic package for the artist, a press kit, electronic press kit, an EPK. I dissected this thing, and I'm turning this into the website. So you'll see as I'm scrolling down the website that it looks a lot like this PDF, except now it's alive. So as we hit the buttons, we go down and down. Scorpion looks good. Let's see. I got listen now right. And it removed the date. So now we can proceed on. Look at that. That is just effing awesome. I can't even believe it. So now that this is set up, I'm going to be able to do the next 10. There's 11 total. So now I'm going to be able to do the next 10 of them rapidly. We have a template established, and from this point, we can mold it and shape it in any way that we want. I'm also going to add in a background image here, dress this up. But I just wanted to show you, especially for musicians or comedians or anyone who has a playlist of sorts that links to external services, some of which are play on demand, some of which are paid, that this is how I would go about making one of those types of pages. Design from here is just me inputting my art direction, but the template's established. This is established. This is going to be quote unquote good enough for a 3-day turnaround deadline. And that over time, when the show's done, we can just refine this and also continue to add to it. No problem. So hope that gives a little more insight. as to how this is going down in the new AI world of not having to micromanage pushing pixels and drop shadows and colors around the screen and just having a robot do everything for you. So hope that of not, okay. So this should give you good insight so this is awesome insight as to how to go about not having to push pixels around the screen and do little micro moves and touch every little thing like I was doing for my entire career. So this is just the greatest gift that I've ever gotten for this world. These are cool too. I just want to point this out real quick. Again, this press section is going to get dressed up a little bit, but I went and ripped these logos, which was kind of a pain in the ass. They were embedded in the PDF in such a way that I couldn't get them, so I got them, whatever. I did them old school style in Photoshop, and these just link out to their respective articles. And what I like about that is there's an indicator that it's going out and click to read article as you roll over. Again, these little details like on rollover, increase the scale 20%, highlight this little icon, reveal, click to read article, and then have this be an external link. And then as we add new press, all I'm doing is typing in here, add new press, and it will bump all of these down and add the next one in. It's odd when you have a grid and then you have 7, because then there's going to be open space. Typically in that scenario, I would have it populated in the center below, but whatever. So this is fantastic. And let's just say I had 8, I would just ask it to do 4 columns and make it nice and neat. And the same thing applies here. I'm going to end up having 11 total songs. So I'm going to have to either do 3, 3, 3, 2, something like that, which will probably be just sufficient. That'll be just fine. So anyway, that's it. Good insight into AI as a website builder and WordPress replacement. Doing this in WordPress would certainly not be a weekend project. This is crazy. So later. All right, we got ourselves a wrap here on this artist website. And, we have all these jump links that go from section to section. I've populated the entire thing with all the content that was provided via Word docs. And I just want to point out something like the music section and how AI did this. And let's just say it took an hour and a half to do this, that in the past, this would have taken like a developer and a production person all day, probably, to get every one of these tracks, all the cover art, get them all sized properly, get all these icons in place on a page, link everything to its exact specific place. It is just mind-boggling how that's gone down. And, I even added little bits of design flair by having this to be a slight gradient from a light gray to a dark gray. And same thing here with a little glow on the edges of these cards. This look fantastic. So if you're seeing this is already at aldensong.com. Go take a look at the live website, and that's a wrap. So fantastic. See y'all soon. All right, brand new Replit site, not yet launched. And the client has a few last minute edits on a job that was wrapped up in like 4 or 5 days. Some of the edits that I have to do right now are structural. They want this to be a dark background instead of a light background where the image is more obvious. It's there, it's just ghosted white. So we're going to fix that. A text edit to the bio. They want to add social links to the top, like what exists on the rehab site, like right here. These little guys. No problem. Let's do it. And let me get the exact edits out. Oh, another issue is the mobile version. From the client says, quote unquote, it doesn't look good or as good. So let's take a look at that first and see what's going on. So I can see right off the bat here that it's shrinking the video into a little narrow thing. That's not good. The bio looks good. The latest releases, I would like to have 1 column, not 2, because it's too small and squished. Highlights is overlapping the outside. That looks good. It's in single column. I'd like the social media links to be a little smaller on 1 line, or maybe even like 2 columns because there's 6 of them. That would probably work well. Stay updated looks great. The menu looks good. Okay, so a few issues. Let's look at the second tier and see if this looks nice on mobile. Ooh, that does look fantastic, actually. Damn. All right, so let's start at the top. Number 1, what's wrong here? This little video doodad is playing, in a little box. So let's talk about it with them. We're going to hit the plan button, which is in the drop down. Edit, plan, build. Okay, Plan, we're going to ask it a question before sending it off on a mission. Because sometimes you send this thing off on a mission and you haven't really talked about it or planned it out. It just kind of interprets your text the way it's going to interpret it, but you don't really know. So by doing the plan phase, you actually save yourself a lot of time. So you can see, does it really understand what I'm talking about or not? Okay, so right now I want to say, I'm going to take a screenshot. Shift Windows S. We're going to scroll over this. We're going to hit, in this window, we're going to hit Control V. That pastes a direct screenshot of this in here, and we're going to tell it that the video is smushed in the middle, make it full screen. Actually, we don't want it to be full screen. We just want it to conform to the size. And I want to reduce the height. There's no reason why this band should be this tall. Just this little Alden Song video up here should probably end no more than halfway down. Okay, so conform the video to the size, conform video to size of mobile. See, I'm talking to this thing like it's a robot, because when I talk to offshore developers, this is exactly how I talk to them, and they understand this. There's like a weird English that you have to learn to speak to robots and offshore developers. It's a strange thing, but it works. It doesn't work for like regular people. If like I said this to somebody at like my kid's football practice, they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with Mr. Baker? All right. Conform video to size of mobile. The video is in a small box in a tall viewpoint. Shrink the viewpoint. So that should make sense. In my mind, it makes sense. Let's see if I'm talking to robots in the language they understand. Okay, so it's telling me it can see the issue on mobile. The hero section has too much vertical height. See how it just knows what I'm talking about with this ridiculous way of talking? And then it outputs like the perfect English, making the YouTube video appear small with lots of black space. I'll adjust the hero section, blah, blah, blah. My approach will be exactly what I'm looking for. So now we're going to hit start building. It's always cool to just watch the screen and have this just work, because it's like I'm watching an invisible employee do what I tell him to do, or her, sorry. All right, so we transition from plan to build mode. Now he's gonna, or she's gonna, or it's gonna fix the mobile video display issue by adjusting the hero section's height to better fit mobile screens. All right, so it's adjusted the viewpoint clearly, and now it's saying it's going to make video fill screen on phones. It's still narrow. All right. Can we scale the video? So I'm asking it to scale the video proportionally to fill the black space. Reduce viewpoint further and scale the video proportionally to fill the black space. Let's see. All right. Look at that. Make sure video is centered. All right. So it did it. So I'll let it work that out, making sure the video is centered. It's very cool. So the bio, it says third paragraph. 1, 2, 3. All right, now I'm going to hit edit mode, and I'm going to click on this paragraph right here, the third paragraph. 1, 2, 3. They want this paragraph removed. I'm simply going to hit delete. Yes, delete this element. Let's see if it actually does it. Voila, gone. So that's easy. The next thing is latest releases. I want a single column. So I'm just going to grab a quick screenshot of this and simply say, make latest releases single column. This way it ends up appearing to be more like the press section, fills the space nice. And I have to make sure that I clarify mobile. So I'll actually insert it. Okay. First paragraph. Nice. Boom, boom, boom. That looks great. And then I click it. Perfect. Okay. Next. Highlights. Too wide. Okay. So that's just probably the H2 tag. Make headlines. I'm going to say 25% smaller. Just an estimate. But when words are hanging over the edge like this, let's say it needs about this much space to be perfect. If I shrunk this by 25%, it's going to put it like around here. It'll make the rest of them a little smaller too, but it's okay. They're all huge. And see, that line breaks nicely, but a single word that's too big just hangs off the edge of the site and it just looks like shit. And you really can't, I mean, you can, but these are all kind of the same. You can't really scale an individual element like that. It'll look weird because they're all the same size. So let's just make headlines 25% smaller on mobile. And I'm gonna say make these section headlines. Okay, so 25% smaller should just make it so that, it's not hanging off over here. We'll just watch that in real time. All right, look at that. Just like that. I don't have to go and do anything inside to have all these things be affected. God, do I love that. Okay, so that's all set. One other thing I wanted to address on mobile specifically. Okay. I want the social media icons to be 2 columns. Make the social icons 2 column on mobile 3/3. Look at the way I type to this thing. Make lower social icons 2 column on mobile 3/3. Does that make any sense to anyone? I doubt it, but I know how to talk to robots. Nano. Let's see what it says. That nanu thing makes me so old. Not one kid would know what that means. Just like that. 3/3. Love it. So cool. So cool. Okay, so addressed mobile. Let's go back to the edits. Releases. When you click on a track, the background is white. Can it be black with a little of the cover? So I'm going to copy his request verbatim and paste it here. Okay, so we're just going to address desktop and mobile for songs. Let me just switch the look at that. That's so nice. Okay, so let's go to music and then the release page. So I'm going to say the /release page template. And he said when you click on a track, the background is white. I don't think he sees that actually it's not white. It's blurred heavily and there's a white overlay. What he wants is dark. Okay, I'll just say the background is light and very blurred. Can it be a dark overlay, not black, a dark overlay with a little of in less blur? All right, so the way I reframed his question was he wanted it to just be black with a little cover art bleeding through, and that sounds good, but in order to talk to the robots, we got to say things a certain way. So for both desktop and mobile, the /release page template, when you click on a track, the background is very light and very blurred. Can it be a dark overlay? And you adjust the opacity of the overlay. So when you have that like look, it's just a black, and then you adjust how much % of light can come through the black. And let's take a look at it and see what it comes up with, because he also wants an overlay adjustment on the homepage. I'm going to do that next. Okay, right before my eyes, it just changes. And obviously, I'm noting that with this comes 2 issues that instantly popped up. One is the back to music button. Okay, that's a bit too dark. It's a bit too dark. Let more cover art show. And then we'll work on the other issues which are obvious. Actually, that listen now is white. That listen, oh, it's this up here. Okay, so this button and this title has to be adjusted light. There you go. That looks cool. I'll just tell him just a touch less blur. Looks good. Just a touch less blur. That looks awesome. Great job. Yeah. So throwing my art director hat on here, I would like to see a little subtle outline around the featured image. One, to make it stand out, adjust the dark button on back to music and adjust title to be light over dark. And then I'll take screenshots of all these things and it will execute. I believe it'll execute all 3 of these things at once. Let's see. See what I'm saying? It's just so cool. It just does it all. Can it do the button too? Can it go 3 for 3 here? 3 for 3, you sons of bitches. That's so cool. Man, am I never going back to WordPress. Could you imagine going to every little stupid things that I would have to sit there and do to make things look awesome, that I would do, that no one appreciated ever, I don't have to do by hand anymore. Speeding up my output exponentially. This is my speeding up my output exponentially. This is my 16th build since June 1st. What the hell is that? That's crazy. Lordy. Oh, Lordy. All right. Calm down, bro. This is looking dope. All right. Let's see. That looks great. Just effing great. All right. Next is press. We added a 6 a.m. article. We added a 6 a.m. article. Okay, so this is a little tricky. These logos, for some reason, 6 a.m. All right, so first and foremost, I got to capture this logo and get it transparent in Photoshop. Crop it real tight. See, sometimes you got to go old school, bro. I tried to have AI do this crap for me, and it just kept failing, kept just pissing me off and failing. So this will be good enough for a transparent ping. For anyone that doesn't know what a transparent ping is, it's a rasterized graphic that allows transparency in a web browser, making it awesome to work with. So even with the little artifacts of the black, it doesn't matter because this is going over a dark background. I'll save it to these logos. What was it called? 6 a.m. Okay, so he added a new article to 6 a.m. This is the article we're going to add to the press section, which is going to stress me out because there's 6 articles right now. Now I got to have a hanger. Damn it. All right. Add new article to press. And this is a good example of how we're going to add a new article in general to this website. Right now, they're not writing internal articles. Right now, all articles are outbound. That little icon shows you that, right? I love the rollover effect that it came up with on its own. So here's the new article to top of press or first. I'll just say first press, like it knows. Based on that, add new article. Okay, let me upload the logo and let's see if that performs its magic here. It's unfortunately gonna have to drop a row. Let's see if it's smart enough to do all that without even me telling it to. Hence the removal of WordPress and the creation of your own CMS that does entirely and only what you need it to do. And if the feature doesn't exist, you don't have to find a plugin for it. You just tell this thing what you want and make it and add it in. You make your own plugins. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to a web dork like me. Now this hanger on the bottom here is pissing me off, bro. But we got an odd number and we got a grid. So I guess we'll have to just wait for more articles to even it out. Next, let me just make sure that it's going to the right place. Perfecto. All right, dope. Next, socials. Please add Beatport. Messing up my columns, man. What the hell? So add Beatport to social media icons. And here's the link. Let's see what happens here. You know, this makes me mad because I can't tell you how long at some points of my life I sat and found these logos and had to find the vector, then had to take them into Photoshop or Illustrator and make them all the same color because some of these logos exist in like icon sets, but some of them don't. And I would spend how long doing this dumb shit that just had to be done, production work. I'm really glad I did production work when I started at Cadillac at an agency in Manhattan in 1999. I came on board to help create the Cadillac.com website, and the intro was in Flash. Now that sounds like probably to anyone who's like younger, like I used to interpret when I was doing Flash and all the older IT people would be like, I used to program, but we used to use these cards. These machines would have paper cards. I'm like, all right, bro, you're fucking old. And guess what? Now me talking about Flash in 1999. Damn, old. I said, that's great information. Agent encountered an error. We are investigating the issue. That's fantastic. Did you investigate and stop? Did you sort it? Wake up. Sometimes this thing just falls asleep. I think it's like, it literally just like, I'm good for now. Wake up, dude. You like poke it. Like, oh, see, you poked it. If I didn't poke it, he was just going to sleep. This is a dope website, man. God, so cool. I'll add the Beatport to the social media icons in the contact section. Is that Beatport? Is that what it looks like? No, that's not the right logo, bro. Why are you trying to fake the logo, dog? Bro. I just wrote, bro, the logo. Beatport. What's up? Beatport logo. I mean, that's probably just it. Save image as ping. Let's see if I can just upload it. Yeah, see, the thing to note is that this is a React web app, and they use all these libraries of existing things, and one of them is the React icons library. And as it turns out, the Beatport logo is in there, and I don't have to go find it, color it. Dude. Now, let's see what it did in mobile. Let's make a note. Cool. Next. They want a little less overlay on the main video. So let's see if we could do that next. Okay, so I asked for a bit less overlay, in parentheses, make more of the video color show through than on the main video section. So I've just asked it to do something very specific in my robot talk. And then we're going to do those social media icons like rehab, which I will also say would be an epic pain in the ass beyond words to have to put those icons in place over a video slider, because in WordPress, you have this thing called Revolution Slider or Layer Slider. Revolution Slider is a big old piece of shit. It sucks. It's clunky and goofy, and it's its own problem and its own thing within WordPress. It's been hacked. It always changes the version. When you change the version, they change the entire interface. The thing is awful. So to never have to go into Revolution Slider ever again. And my last Revolution Slider was for Pinpoint. Let me see if it still exists. See if they're still using Revolution Slider. Oh yeah, there it is. It does an inadequate job of what it's supposed to do. It's not good. I don't like it. And so for me to not have to, and if I had to go into Revolution Slider and put the icons down here, especially to make it mobile friendly, oh God. So watch this one. Wonder if it would look nice aligned with, maybe just aligned with centered and below. I'm going to do it centered and below the text. Add the footer. Okay. I said add, I want it like the rehab site, but centered. Okay. So let's see if I can get the rehab site right here. So see what they're doing there? Maybe I'll just do it exactly like the way he asked for it. And I'll have a little scroll down. I'm going to go with centered. I like it better centered. I don't think I need a scroll down button. Okay. All right. Look at that. So great. That is just great. Give me more space. Okay, hold on. Let's just see what happens in the mobile. Dude, you're the shit, bro. Imagine that. I'm talking to my invisible alien employee. Good shit, bro. A little repub on that. And this thing's winding down, rapidly outputting this cool website. I kind of want this nav. I want the nav, I think, to be transparent. Scrum. I said scrum, SCROMM, as you scroll. Thing is, I'm trying to type, and I need to look at my keyboard because I'm not like a real typist, and my mic's in the way. Make nav transparent over video, then semi or the same as it is as you scroll. Let's see. So I like that. That's cool. But I like the way Rehab does it, where there's just no nonsense with the video. It's just cool looking. That doesn't look good. This is no good. Actually, it is good. You know what it is? The video section is set too low. So we have to bump it up. All right, let's bump up. All right, so bump down nav section or bump up video section to get video under the nav, not white. No punctuation whatsoever. I'm going to take a screen grab of that just so we can see what I'm talking about. I want the video over. I see the issue. There's a white gap between the nav and the video. The video section needs to extend all the way up to the top of the page under the transparent navigation. Let me fix this. Like the best invisible robot employee of all time. I see your problem. I will fix it for you. This definitely still needs human intervention though. This is out of control. All right. Well, thanks for fixing nothing. It's always so weird to me when you make all these moves and everything's great and then they hit like a roadblock. So this is the first roadblock that I've hit on all these edits. Okay, I said video needs to be below the nav, still has a white gap. And I'd say on version whatever it was before this, it says Agent 3, but like I've said in the past, they're just blowing in new features like it's going on style. So Agent 3 point something or Agent 2 or Agent 1, whatever. Whenever Claude was introduced to this thing, damn, look at that. God, that's so cool. Whenever Claude was introduced to this thing as the programmer on the backside of this whole thing, right, is when this like nonsense ended with asking it to do the same thing 25 times. And in most cases, in those 25 times of asking it, not really changing much about what you asked for. It would just decide to work sometimes. But it would work, and it would actually still be faster than doing it by hand. But not like this, man. This is on a different level. It's so cool. Let me see what they did with the mobile here. Nice, bro. Dude, you are the shit. That is awesome. That is seriously freaking cool. I just can't believe it. Man, do I wish I had this power in 1999. You ever hear of time travel? Wow. This looks so dope. All right, well, as soon as this is live, I'm going to send it to my client. I think he has one more edit that I'm going to illustrate how to get it done, talking about this like video background thing and how happy I am to never have to touch Revolution Slider again, ever. This is fantastic. So we're going to come back to this. I think this one last edit is going to be replacing this whole video back here with one new edited version. I'll be back soon. All right, that's about it. So I simply pasted in a video link and asked it to replace the two existing videos with this one. So it did it. The video's running. It's awesome. It's done. So for now, the sucker's a wrap. It's looking very, very good, very clean, very professional. It looks very much like a studio label website, like a legit artist website. It doesn't look hokey. It's perfect for what he needs it for this event and going forward. So all the stuff in one spot. Now down the road, let's say we want to add tour dates or tour dates, ticket sales, any other little features that might be normal on an artist website. None of that is a problem. It can integrate with like things like Band in Town or Band in Town, whatever the hell it is. It can integrate with external event services, or you can just create your own from scratch if you don't have one already. So this is it. It's a done deal for now. Fantastic, quick turnaround, AI website built in Replit. Never again with WordPress. And yeah, that's it, man. So see you in the next go around.